The morning sun had barely lifted over the horizon, spilling a warm golden glow across the quiet roadside diner. Steam curled from coffee cups. The low thunder of engines vibrated through the crisp air, mixing with the scent of bacon, leather, and gasoline. A group of Hell's Angels bikers had stopped for breakfast, broad-shouldered men with stories etched into their scars, the kind other people avoided without ever knowing their hearts. Their laughter bounced off the chrome of their motorcycles, until a single, desperate scream sliced through everything. Every head turned. A little girl in a red dress came sprinting across the parking lot, her small boots slipping on the cold pavement, her light brown hair wild in the wind, tears streaking down her dirt-smudged cheeks. "Please," she cried, voice cracking. "They're hurting my mama. Please help her." The diner quieted so quickly that even the engines seemed to fall silent. A few truckers hesitated, unsure. Not one person moved. Except for one. If you believe in courage, in the goodness that still exists in unexpected places, and in people who step up when the world looks away, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Warriors, because what happened next will restore your faith in humanity. The man who stepped forward was Mason Cole, late 30s, carved from steel and storms, a Hell's Angel whose hands had seen both violence and mercy. He dropped to one knee, steadying the trembling girl. "Where's your mama, sweetheart?" he asked, voice low but steady. The girl pointed again down the lonely two-lane road, toward a rundown row of trailers hidden behind the trees. "They're beating her," she sobbed. "Please, please hurry." Mason didn't hesitate. He rose with a look that made every biker immediately straighten. "Tank, rider, on me," he ordered. In seconds, 3 Harleys roared to life, tires spitting gravel as they tore down the road. Dust spiraled behind them, leaving the diner frozen in stunned silence. One of the bikers scooped the little girl up, wrapped her in a leather jacket twice her size, and brought her inside to warm up. She pressed her face against the window, terrified eyes watching the red taillights fade into the distance. Minutes crawled by. Then, faint, chaotic echoes drifted back, shouts, a woman's cry, and the growling engines of returning bikers cutting through violence. Mason and his brothers had reached the trailer. Inside, a drunken man cornered a woman against peeling wallpaper, his fists already stained red. Her face, bruised, swollen, terrified, caught a sliver of sunlight from the cracked window. He raised his hand to strike again, but a heavy boot slammed into the floorboards. Mason's hand clamped around the man's wrist mid-swing, twisting until the bottle he held crashed to the floor. Tank and Ryder pinned him down in seconds. No speeches, no threats, just action. Mason turned to the woman, his voice softening in contrast to the fury burning behind his eyes. "You safe now, ma'am?" She nodded through tears, her breath trembling. Sirens wailed in the distance. A neighbor must have called. When the police arrived, the bikers didn't flee. They stepped outside calmly, hands raised, forming a protective circle around the woman and her daughter, who had run to Mason the second he appeared. The woman's name was Carla, and through shaky breaths, she explained everything. Her ex, fresh out of jail, had hunted her down that morning. The officers cuffed him and dragged him away while Mason carried little Hannah, setting her gently onto his bike. "You did the right thing," he told her. "You were brave." When they returned to the diner, a small crowd had gathered, locals, truckers, travelers, waiting anxiously. The moment they saw Carla walking behind Mason, alive, battered but standing, the entire lot went silent. The diner owner came out with blankets and steaming mugs of coffee. One by one, the bikers draped their jackets over Carla and Hannah, the patches catching the morning sun as if glowing with pride. Even the officers looked away respectfully at the gesture. Mason knelt beside the little girl. "You take care of your mama now, okay? You're her little guardian warrior." Hannah nodded and held his sleeve with tiny fingers. Word spread fast. By noon, strangers stopped by just to shake the bikers' hands. When someone asked Mason why they jumped into danger for people they didn't know, he shrugged. "You don't walk away from a cry like that," he said. "Doesn't matter what patch you wear, being human comes first." In the weeks that followed, the town rallied around Carla and Hannah. People offered groceries, furniture, even a small apartment. And every Sunday, a line of Harleys appeared outside, the bikers checking in, sharing breakfast, and filling the diner with laughter that Hannah soon joined. Months later, when the frost melted and spring arrived, Hannah handed Mason a crayon drawing. Harley's, a little girl in red, and a big man kneeling to help her. "This is us," she said proudly. Mason folded it carefully and placed it inside his vest over his heart. "This is riding with me wherever I go," he said. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Warriors, because sometimes the roughest exteriors protect the softest, bravest hearts. And before you scroll away, tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you were one of those bikers?